Imagine this. You're standing on your own stretch of untouched white sand. No neighbors, no traffic, no noise, just the sound of waves, seabirds, and the wind moving through palm trees. For most people, this is the ultimate fantasy, owning a private island, completely cut off from the world. But here's the truth. No glossy listing or luxury broker tells you, buying a private island is not the dream. It's the beginning of a brutally complex journey that can either become the most rewarding lifestyle choice of your life or one of the most expensive mistakes you'll ever make. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain. By the end of this video, you'll understand what private island ownership really costs. Financially, legally, emotionally, and psychologically, and why many island owners quietly regret the decision. Let's start with the biggest misconception. That price you see on a listing is almost never the real price. When you hear about islands like Rangi Island in Thailand for $160 million or Pumpkin Key in Florida for $95 million, your brain locks onto that number. But that number is just the entry fee. Buying a private island is like buying a super yacht. The purchase doesn't break you. The ownership does. Maintenance, staff, utilities, repairs, logistics, year after year. Many buyers catastrophically underestimate this. Most private islands come with nothing. No water lines, no power grid, no sewage system. You're not buying land. You're buying responsibility for an entire self-sustaining ecosystem. Water alone can cost millions. A desalination system can range from $500,000 to several million depending on island size and consumption. Electricity means solar arrays, diesel generators, and battery systems. Another few million at minimum. And unlike a mainland home, there's no utility company to call. On your island, you are the utility company. Every failure becomes a logistical nightmare that often requires flying in specialists by helicopter. Then there's staffing, the cost nobody talks about. Unless you plan to live like a castaway, you'll need staff, maintenance crews, security, boat operators, cooks, caretakers. But here's the catch. They don't go home at night. You're responsible for their housing, their food, their health care, and their transport to and from the mainland. You're not just an employer, you're running a micro-community. Some island owners spend over $1 million per year on staffing alone, and retention in isolation is harder than most people expect. Logistics will control your life. Every single thing on your island arrives by boat or helicopter. Groceries, fuel, construction materials, spare parts. A tool you'd normally buy in 20 minutes becomes a half-day operation costing thousands. Most owners maintain a large supply vessel, smaller boats, backup boats, and full-time captains and crew. Fuel, insurance, docking, and maintenance can exceed several $100,000 per year. Your paradise becomes a constant planning exercise. Environmental rules are where many buyers get blindsided. Islands are beautiful because they're protected. Marine reserves, endangered species zones, coral reef protections, coastal development laws. That dream compound you imagined might be illegal. Some owners spend millions on architectural plans only to have projects rejected entirely. Legal battles drag on for years and can cost more than the island itself. Buying internationally adds another layer of risk. Some countries ban foreign ownership. Others require local partners or complex corporate structures. If you do it wrong, you might think you own an island while legally controlling very little. Legal fees alone can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars. Insurance is another brutal reality. Most private islands are exposed to hurricanes, typhoons, and rising seas. Specialty insurance is expensive, filled with exclusions, or unavailable entirely. Some islands are uninsurable, meaning one storm can erase a $100 million asset. Accessibility changes everything. Isolation sounds romantic until there's a medical emergency, and the nearest hospital is hours away by boat. Some islands are unreachable for days or weeks during bad weather. This affects everything: emergency care, hosting guests, running businesses remotely. Islands close to infrastructure cost more for a reason. Many buyers justify island ownership as an investment. Luxury rentals, resorts, high-end tourism. The reality is harsh. Turning an island into a profitable resort often triples or quadruples the original cost. Break-even timelines run 15 to 25 years. assuming everything goes perfectly. Many projects fail completely. When they fail, owners are left with properties they can't sell. Private islands are extremely illiquid assets. Some sit on the market for 10 or 15 years. Some never sell. Case studies reveal the gap between fantasy and reality. Rangy Island looks perfect but sits in busy tourist waters. Boats pass constantly. Privacy is compromised. Belize offers reefs and affordability, but also hurricanes, infrastructure challenges, and heavy regulation. Turnkey islands sound easy, but you're buying someone else's design decisions at a massive premium. Floating residences avoid land laws but introduce maritime law, taxation issues, engineering risks, and uncertain resale value. Then there's the psychological side nobody prepares you for. Isolation cuts both ways. Many owners feel lonely after the honeymoon phase. Social spontaneity disappears. Guests become logistical events. To fight boredom, owners add amenities. But the more you build, the more the island feels like just another luxury property. Balance requires self-awareness. Owning an island means owning responsibility, waste management, energy use, wildlife protection. Ethical ownership is no longer optional. Climate change isn't theoretical. Rising seas, stronger storms, dying reefs. Some islands may become uninhabitable within decades. This isn't pessimism, it's due diligence. Connectivity is fragile. Satellite internet is expensive, weather-dependent, and imperfect. Security is entirely your responsibility. Patrol boats, surveillance systems, caretakers. Medical access becomes critical with age, which is why most long-term owners eventually switch to shorter stays. Technology should be simple and robust. Over-engineering increases failure risk, and repairs can take weeks. Selling an island is emotionally devastating. Letting go feels like failure, even when it's the right decision. Holding on can drain you financially. That's why successful owners don't treat islands as investments. They treat them as experiences. So, should you buy a private island? Only if money is genuinely not a constraint, if you accept lifelong costs, if you value lifestyle over returns, and if you've done brutal due diligence. If not, the fantasy will destroy you. Private islands aren't dreams, they're commitments.